Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final episode of every animated movie of the year. And when I say final, I mean the final of 2016. The fate of the series moving into 2017 is still TBD, as they say. Though I should state now, before the season finale Oscar special, if you will, that where 2016 has been a notably amazing year for animated films, 2017 looks, well, if I'm honest, there's not a single release for 2017 that I'm really all that excited about. But let's get back to today, where we saw Sing from Illumination Entertainment, their second entry for 2016. Now, a lot of you are going to recall that I made a video about Sing attempting to predict the entire plot. And while I wasn't correct on all of my predictions, I was pretty damn close with a lot of them, including but not limited to the spoon in the soup prediction, which was pretty much the only moment that I actually smiled during the movie. So today we are throwing to the list early where Sing drops in just below the wildlife. I know, I didn't have the nicest things to say about the wildlife, but look, the movie's visuals were really strong and it had a 3D presentation that puts all of the films of this year to shame. It felt like there was some passionate artistry, some vision behind it. Not so with Sing. I don't want to say I hated Sing, but it's not a movie I will ever watch again. Referring back to my prediction video, there are some plot lines for characters in that video that have more development than the actual characters in the movie did, which is a huge problem. Sing is an ensemble movie where time is evenly split between all the characters, resulting in no characters really receiving much development at all. Not to say ensemble movies can work, of course, but just not this one. The only character that feels like a character is Buster Moon, the koala character played by Matthew McConaughey. And his character is aggressively unlikable. He's a selfish moocher who's willing to tell any lie or steal anything to get what he wants. He's rude to the performers and sees them only as a means for his own success. He's also super manipulative to his one so-called best friend. Now, this is a great setup for a character if that character learned the errors of his ways, but by the end, Buster Moon has not changed at all. There's a scene where Buster Moon kind of has to swallow his pride, and that was probably the strongest point of the movie. But even after that point, he seemed to maintain his selfish agenda. The pacing of the movie feels very strange, and it's really a shame that the story has so many characters and no few characters get time to actually develop. I think the story of the gorilla kid and his criminal father could have been a much more interesting story to pay focus to, and how he kind of would break away from his father's expectations. But because he shares the spotlight with 7 or 8 other characters, there's just no time to fall in love with anyone. But if the characters were weak, at least we can fall back on the songs. I mean, Jennifer Hudson, Tori Kelly, Seth MacFarlane, Oscar winner Reese Witherspoon, and some stellar rocking vocals from Scarlett Johansson. I mean, damn, I genuinely didn't know she could sing like that. These performers are absolutely fantastic, and their talents are undeniable in the movie, making the songs sound great, but still the songs don't feel great. In this movie, the songs leave a lot to be desired. The songs mostly appear as just like clips, like you saw in the trailers with the auditions, just a couple seconds of the song and then it's gone. There's only a few fully performed numbers which all occur towards the end. And what songs are in the movie are bizarre selections. Many are older classics which really show the director's tastes. The musical flavor of the movie is very, very, very old-fashioned, which feels awkward given the whole colorful talking animals thing. Nothing at all against using timeless classics, but it just never felt like the proper platform for them in this movie. Worse yet, the movie crams in some modern pop songs to keep the film feeling young, but a sprinkle of Taylor Swift and Katy Perry doesn't help the movie feel any younger. They just feel shoehorned in a landscape of Sinatra, McCartney, Stevie Wonder, Paul Anka, and 1965's Zombies. One of the biggest predictions that I made about the film and got wrong was a huge group number which would come at the end, where all the characters would come back on stage and perform something together. which just never ended up happening, which left the movie feeling like this sort of chaining together of solo ballads. The characters didn't feel interacted with each other, they all just seemed like they were on their own paths. It sort of just gave the movie this lack of unity. You never felt the characters were on the same side. I think a couple of group numbers could have gone a long way for this film. Let me sum it up this way. If you're looking for a colorful ensemble story filled with interesting and dynamic characters who face the trials of life and performing, filled with fantastic and tasteful covers of modern and classic songs, just go watch the first 3 seasons of Glee. It's pretty much everything that Sing wants to be, but like a billion times better. I always hate when I have to be negative on this channel. I'm more a fan of the positive vibes. But dollars to donuts, I just did not like this movie. Moana and even Trolls both bring much stronger stories to the musical genre for this year. Now, of course, our top 3 entries are still in flux, but they will be announced in the final episode of 2016, which actually will air in 2017, which is when we will be doing our Oscars special. So let's talk about that. We'll be doing a full episode filled with our own awards such as Worst Movie of the Year, Best Voice Performance, Best Original Score, stuff like that. And be on the lookout for a poll video because you guys will be voting on all of those categories. The Oscar special itself will be coming out sometime after the Academy Award nominations, but before the actual Oscars themselves. That way it'll kind of come in between them. And I am really excited about that, just to kind of look back on the year and have some fun awards and remember how powerful and strong of a year 2016 actually was for animation. And it's kind of this cool coincidence that I decided to do this series on such a strong year for animated movies. So that should be pretty fun. I'll be announcing all that stuff on Twitter and YouTube. Twitter, more frequent announcements, and of course the announcement of whether or not every animated movie of the year will actually be continuing in 2017.